Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kyle crosses a line, Jill's Billy conclusion, and Sienna Bacall makes her debut. Spoilers for Tuesday, October 14th episode of The Young and the Restless hint that viewers will see Sienna Bacall for the first time. Additionally, Jill Abbott makes a significant decision about Billy Abbott today, and Kyle Abbott does something foolish. Fans of YNR, let's examine the intense action occurring on your favorite daytime drama. Genoa City continues to rock. Kyle questioned Victoria Newman in the October 13th episode about the whereabouts of his estranged girlfriend Claire Newman in Los Angeles. Given that her daughter needs separation from Kyle and is enjoying herself with another man, Holden Novak, this request was wrong. As Claire asked, she made an effort to convey to Kyle that she should be given space and privacy. But Kyle seems determined to find Claire and is on a quest, because that will greatly improve their relationship. Kyle has a mission. This is obviously the last thing Claire wants or needs. Kyle, the man who cavorted with his ex in Nice, France, wearing nothing but a towel, ought to give her a vacation. Let's move on from woe. Fans get to see Sienna for the first time today. When her old friend Holden and Claire enter her Hollywood bar, she is taken aback. What is Sienna's job? She brings up Holden's former girlfriend and adversary, Audra Charles. Oh no. Is Claire able to get away from Audra? The last thing Claire wants to do is discuss Audra. She left town to avoid the snarky people, and she follows them. A Vesper or 3 could be helpful. What takes place in GC next? In another scene, Jill makes a choice regarding her connection with Billy, her erratic, man-child son. Billy exemplifies baby entitlement and is allowing it to rule his life. On the other hand, despite Billy's rudeness, his understanding mother Jill is trying to bring the harmony back. Let's hope Billy sees the light and decides to make amends before her cancer returns. During her brief comeback, the program has made multiple references to her cardiac problems, including a visit to Snapper. Tell us, YNR fans, do you think this portends a major setback for Jill that will alter everything? Holden reconnects, Sienna makes her debut, and Jill twists. Spoilers for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 on The Young and the Restless are available. Sienna Bacall will be available for fans to meet. This past is reconnected with by Holden Novak. In addition, Jill Abbott makes a significant choice regarding her relationship with Billy Abbott. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. The wisdom of Victoria Newman. Kyle attempted to obtain the address of Claire Grace Newman's Los Angeles hotel room in Monday's episode. Astutely, Victoria Newman informed Kyle that she would not do so. It was a wise decision because Claire would have lost it. Read more. Discover the events of YNR's most recent episode. Kyle Abbott engages in hardball. Even after speaking with Victoria, Kyle isn't giving up. Kyle wants to win the girl back by pursuing her in Los Angeles rather than allowing her some time and space. Well, Kyle's expectations won't be met, even if he is able to obtain the hotel address. The debut of Sienna Bacall. According to Tuesday, October 14th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Holden brings Claire to a club he knows in Los Angeles. The club owner stops by to greet Holden after they have taken their seats. It quickly becomes awkward because they know each other. Holden first presents Claire to Sienna as a close friend. Sienna, however, complains about Audra Charles after appearing to believe that there is more going on. Perhaps we will learn more about Holden's past and the secret he and Audra have been keeping for so long. Claire might ask Sienna for further details regarding the relationship between Audra and Holden. Read this. What does Peter Bergman's new role mean for YNR, The Young and the Restless? The decision that changed Jill Abbott's life. Regarding Jill, she takes a significant choice regarding her relationship with Billy. The woman suddenly came to the realization that her own family treated her in the same manner as she treats Billy. Although it was enlightening, Billy is furious at the moment. Billy might oppose every step of Jill's attempts to make things right. Perhaps Jill chooses to fully disown Billy instead? Billy no longer even refers to her as Mom, suggesting that he has already done that. However, Jill seems to believe that Kane Ashby is infallible. She believes Kane is not a threat and is not really paying attention to the AI strategy. Would she later come to regret this choice? Tamara Braun gives a sneak peek at Sienna Bacall, her character on The Young and the Restless. On Tuesday, Tamara Braun, one of the most renowned actors in daytime TV, will make her debut as Sienna Bacall on The Young and the Restless. The actress is giving fans a sneak peek at what to anticipate from her relationship with Noah Newman and her badass persona. The Young and the Restless welcomes Tamara Braun, Nathan Owens, Tamara Braun, and Haley Aaron on The Young and the Restless. Braun told TV Insider that she contracted COVID the week before she was scheduled to begin filming. Thankfully, she healed and continued working as usual. Braun compared starting a new job to spending the holidays at a family's house. It may take a moment to feel at home, but then it all kicks in and you're one of the gang. I've been there a month now, and I'm finally starting to feel like I understand the flow at Y&R, she said. This Y&R role also reunites Braun with Lucas Adams, her former TV son, who is now Y&R's Noah. He's a lovely actor and an incredible gem of a human being, Braun says. Braun was reunited with Melissa Claire Egan from their days on All My Children, where Egan played Annie and Braun played Reese on the ABC serial. Producer Jill Farron Phelps, who oversaw General Hospital when Braun played Carly, was among those behind the camera. The Real West, Nathan Owens and Tamara Braun on The Young and the Restless. Watch as Braun shares screen time with Matt Cohen and Roger Howarth. Howarth's role is still unknown, despite the fact that Cohen's character, Detective Burrow, has been made public. Braun collaborated with Nathan Owens and Haley Aaron throughout her initial weeks. We had a lot of fun working and laughing together, Braun stated. There's a lot of laughter, which is very beneficial to the soul. I like that she's strong, a bit intense, and I feel like there will be so much revealed about her that even I don't necessarily know lives within her, Braun says of Sienna, a super cool woman who owns a club in Los Angeles. She has a history, and I think it's juicy. The Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless promises to give all of that and more. The show's world is a never-ending dance between ambition, heartbreak, and redemption. Fans are left gasping as the threads of Genoa City's stories tighten, twist, and threaten to break as Sienna Bacall makes her thrilling debut. Kyle Abbott crosses a dangerous emotional line, and Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, must make the most important emotional decision regarding her errant son Billy. The emotional landscape of Y&R is periodically altered by an occurrence in the chronology. This one accomplishes this by combining three distinct but thematically related storylines, all of which are motivated by emotional self-destruction, family, and obsession. As Genoa City trembles with disclosure and consequence, let's examine the heart, history, and hidden motivations behind each plot point. Section 1. Kyle Abbott steps over the line. Kyle Abbott is one of the best characters to capture the tragic conceit of affluence. Kyle, the son of Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins, has spent his entire adult life attempting to strike a balance between the brittleness of his own identity and the brutal demands of his legacy. He has experienced both humiliating lows and romantic highs in his relationship with Claire Newman in recent months. However, Kyle's choice to find Claire in Los Angeles despite her clear plea for privacy reveals control masquerading as dedication rather than love. During Monday's show, Kyle asked Victoria Newman a straightforward inquiry regarding her daughter's accommodations in Los Angeles, seemingly out of pure curiosity. However, it was an act of emotional invasion beneath the surface. His deceptive charm was instantly exposed by Victoria, who refused to give him the information. Her motivation was obvious. Claire had decided to take a break, to rediscover herself, away from the mayhem of Genoa City and Kyle's stifling habit of apologizing and acting on impulse. However, Kyle is a man who cannot tolerate rejection, particularly from someone he thinks he can overcome with perseverance. He tries to justify every barrier he breaches because of his fixation with fixing things, a tendency he acquired from his father, but perverted by his own inadequacies. His voyage to Los Angeles turns into a metaphor for self-destruction rather than healing. Kyle has persuaded himself that pursuing Claire will demonstrate his loyalty in some way. In actuality, it's just another example of the entitlement that characterizes his darkest hours. Kyle continues to conflate desire and obsession, as evidenced by his rash tryst with Summer in France and his deceptive power tactics at Chabot. His incapacity to remain motionless and allow another person to breathe exposes the one reality that Y&R fans are all too familiar with. Kyle Abbott may have a great love for someone, but he is still learning how to love properly. The audience is both excited and frustrated as Kyle prepares his belongings and takes off for Los Angeles. Confrontation, not atonement, is what lies ahead for him, because Claire Newman is not the same person he wooed in Genoa City by candlelight. She has discovered new vitality, self-assurance, and companionship in Los Angeles in the person of Holden Novak, played by Nathan Owens, who may finally comprehend her desire for genuineness. There is more to Kyle's story than a failed romance. The urge to manipulate other people's happiness in order to prove one's own value is a generational affliction that has plagued the Abbott family. Kyle's blindness is the tragedy of his love story. He is pursuing the false illusion of a relationship that has ended, thinking that everything will work itself out if he can only locate Claire. However, this search, like all desperate actions in Genoa City, is bound to spark mayhem, particularly when it puts him directly in Sienna Bacall's circle. Part 2. Sienna Bacall's arrival, Hollywood's new mysteries. Longtime viewers of The Young and the Restless know that pyrotechnics are to be expected whenever a new character is introduced. However, Sienna Bacall's appearance represents a dramatic change in tone and energy rather than merely another plot point. Emmy-winning actress Tamara Braun portrays Sienna, who comes into the Y&R world as a force of nature who is fearless, nuanced, and unashamedly herself. In the center of Los Angeles, where secrets and second chances abound, Sienna owns a chic, neon-lit bar. The world seems to stop for a heartbeat when Holden Novak and Claire Newman enter the room hand in hand. Tension, recognition, and the undeniable weight of unspoken history are all present. Sienna immediately establishes herself as a lady who knows more than she admits, as she welcomes Holden with a cunning smile that conveys 1,000 untold stories. Sienna's presence electrifies the screen in a few seconds. She's the type of character who enters a scene and takes control of it without uttering a word. The implication that she is connected to the complex tapestry of Genoa City's past in ways that even she isn't quite aware of is what lays beneath that charm, though. The atmosphere changes when Sienna mentions Claire's enemy and Holden's ex, Audra Charles. It's risky to bring up the name, particularly in front of Claire, who traveled to Los Angeles specifically to get away from Audra's shadow. However, Sienna's comment is a purposeful spark rather than an accident. Is Holden being tested by her? Claire, are you warning me? Or just stirring things up for fun? She is fascinating because no one can really tell. Sienna is super cool, strong, and intense, according to Tamara Braun, and every picture exudes her energy. She is the epitome of contradictions, maternal but dangerous, grounded yet erratic, endearing yet protective. For lost souls, Sienna's tavern is a haven where they can drink, laugh, and confess. Her bar's walls, however, contain more than just laughter and alcohol. They also contain memories. Recollections of Holden, of a love that might have been too intense and too quick. Recollections of the decisions she made that caused her to exchange the chaos of her past for the appearance of stability. The addition of Sienna broadens the Y&R panorama, not only geographically, but also emotionally. For many years, Los Angeles has represented rebirth and served as a haven for Genoa City's wounded hearts. But Sienna's tavern serves as more than just a setting. It's a point of intersection where the past and present meet and characters face their true selves in private. Additionally, rumors about Sienna's relationship with Noah Newman start to circulate, just as her interactions with Holden and Claire pique curiosity. Is there more to Sienna's past than Holden? Could she be hiding secrets that could be traced back to Genoa City? If so, both the Abbott and Newman families might be shocked by her appearance. As of right now, we only know that Sienna Bacall is not here to fit in. Her goal is to alter the course of events. Part 3. Claire Newman strikes a balance between discovery and escape. Claire Newman, a lady who has subtly emerged as one of the Young's most emotionally compelling characters, is in the center of the storm. Though her path is not simple, Claire, who was once characterized by pain and exploitation, has transformed into a symbol of self-reclamation. Claire doesn't realize that her emotional fortress is about to be put to the test when she follows Holden into Sienna's club. Old wounds resurface when her manipulative former rival Audra Charles is mentioned. Even though she moved away from Genoa City to avoid Audra's toxic influence, she is unable to shake her shadow. The harsh irony of trauma is that it follows you around even when you believe you have moved on from it. Holden, meanwhile, makes an effort to defuse the situation, but his actions reveal his true nature. Guilt, the kind that only comes from secrets, flickers in his eyes. Sienna is aware that there is something about Audra that he is obviously keeping from Claire. Their fleeting glances allude to a common background that might reveal everything Claire believes she knows about her new friend. For Claire, this is a defining moment rather than merely an uncomfortable one. She must choose who she wants to be as her past and present collide in real time. Does she face Genoa City's ghosts head-on, or does she ultimately let them go? This storyline's emotional intersection is what makes it so captivating. Claire's struggle is profoundly personal rather than merely exterior, and whether she realizes it or not, Sienna Bacall serves as the impetus for her subsequent development. Part 4. A mother's reflection on Jill Abbott's breaking point. In Genoa City, a narrative that has been developing for decades reaches its emotional climax, while intrigue simmers in Los Angeles. One of YNR's most illustrious matriarchs, Jill Foster Abbott, must make a decision that could determine her legacy. Her relationship with her son Billy has been a whirlwind of unconditional love, disappointment, and loyalty for many years. But now that she's been betrayed too much, Jill has to make the decision to let go. Billy Abbott has always been a mystery, a contradiction of chaos and charm. He has spent his entire life vacillating between genius and self-destruction, making him the ultimate baby of Genoa City. Jill, his mother, has saved him from more mishaps than anyone can recall, but recently, she has lost patience with him. She is fed up with seeing her kid cling to bitterness and poor choices while he wanders aimlessly. Jill's sudden realization that she has handled Billy in the same manner that her family treated her in the past strikes a chord of poetic symmetry. Generational agony masquerading as love is the type of emotional revelation that YNR excels at. Jill, who is feisty, aspirational, and unrepentant, has always been the show's symbol of perseverance. Beneath that bluster, however, is a woman who has dedicated her life to proving herself, her family, and Genoa City that she is sufficient. That struggle is reflected in her complex relationship with Billy. She sees her greatest success and her biggest failure in him. As Jill sits by herself, thinking about what to do next, her heart issue looms both literally and figuratively. The program has made subtle allusions to her health, especially her visits to Snapper, implying that her stress may have actual repercussions. Fans who have followed the plot for a long time can't help but think that it may be laying the groundwork for something more tragic, a health catastrophe that makes Billy face his guilt. But before any of that can occur, Jill has to decide whether to let Billy continue to wallow in his misery or to let him go. Her possible decision to disown him could be powerful because it was motivated by love rather than hate, the type of love that arises when you realize that you cannot save someone who won't save themselves. However, Jill still undervalues Kane Ashby even as she considers letting Billy go. She might be doomed since she thinks Kane's new AI business venture is innocuous. Jill might be deceived once more if Kane's plan goes awry, not only by her family but also by her own hope. In terms of theme, Jill's story is similar to Kyle's and Claire's since all three are caught in cycles of delusion and love. Jill is forced to confront what she has made, as Kyle seeks what has vanished and Claire flees what haunts her. At the core of each Y&R arc, her plot poses the question: when does letting go become the most genuine act of care, and when does love turn into an enabling force? Section 5. The Bridge Between Worlds. Holden Novak. Holden Novak, a man whose charm conceals a maze of secrets, is fast emerging as one of the Young's most captivating new characters. His duality is very visible in this episode. He is considerate and caring with Claire, providing stability during her tumultuous trip. However, his poise begins to falter when Sienna enters the picture. A far more complex past than he has acknowledged is hinted at by the strain in his voice and the glimmer of remorse in his eyes. Fans' perceptions of his motivations may change as a result of his relationship to both Sienna and Audra Charles, which points to a complex background. Was Holden fleeing a controversy in Los Angeles? Was he ever exposed or shielded by Sienna? And what specifically transpired between Holden and Audra that continues to trouble him today? In the Y&R universe, Holden embodies a well-known archetype, the endearing nomad with the best of intentions but poor timing. However, Nathan Owens portrays him so delicately that he feels novel rather than cliched. Emotional conflict arises from his relationship with Tamara Braun and Haley Aaron, one based on unresolved business and the other on longing. The interplay between the three is tense as they share scenes, hinting at secrets that might rock not only Claire's world but Genoa City's as well. Section 6. Emotional Undercurrents and Themes. The emotional symmetry between narratives is what really sets this episode apart, not simply the plot twists. Family has always been a theme on The Young and the Restless, but not the idealized sort. Rather, it's the messy, unpleasant, and all too human kind. This episode's characters are all dealing with emotional inheritance in one way or another. Like his parents, Cal Abbott is born with a compulsion to control outcomes. In addition to inheriting suffering, Claire Newman also has the guts to end the cycle. After inheriting guilt, Jill Abbott must choose whether to repeat or change her family's history. In contrast, Sienna Bacall is a symbol of reinvention, which holds that you can rebuild yourself one decision at a time, regardless of how far you've fallen. The episode contrasts Genoa City to Los Angeles, even geographically. One represents tradition, while the other represents innovation. The show explores its central theme in these two settings. You can alter your surroundings, but you will never be able to fully escape your past unless you confront your reality. Section 7. The Arrival of Tamara Braun, a wave of new drama. Perhaps the most intriguing casting decision Y&R has made this year is the addition of Tamara Braun. Braun, who is well known for her powerful performances on General Hospital and Days of Our Lives, infuses every part she takes on with emotional intelligence and erratic energy. Her portrayal of Sienna Bacall is expected to give the Los Angeles arc of the program a more nuanced, multi-layered edge. According to Braun's interviews, Sienna is a badass, a lady who has endured loss, love, and life while remaining strong. It takes some time to find her place, but once you do, it feels like home. She likened joining Y&R to being invited to a family's holiday gathering. On television, such warmth strikes a balance between Sienna's self-assurance and her humanity. Additionally, this debut feels like a reunion and a rebirth because of her relationship with Y&R veterans behind the scenes, notably producer Jill Farren-Phelps. In order to create a deep, character-driven narrative that connects Genoa City and Hollywood, Braun exchanges scenes with actors such as Haley Aaron, Nathan Owens, and possibly Lucas Adams. Section 8. Next Steps, Premonition, and Consequences for the Future. Every quiet period is only the eye of a storm, if YNR history is any indication. The episode sows a number of seeds that could yield huge rewards. Kyle's careless chase. His hasty journey to Los Angeles may have disastrous consequences. Will he enter a compromise scenario with Claire and Holden? Or will Claire be permanently pushed away by his obsession? Sienna's secrets. Beneath her effortless charm, the bar owner conceals a darker side. Does she have a romantic or business relationship with Noah Newman? She seems to know a lot about Audra, but why? Jill's health and heartache. Her allusions to Snapper and heart issues may portend an impending medical emergency that could make Billy confront his guilt. Could Jill make a terrible choice about her son? The greatest enigma surrounding Holden and Audra's past has yet to be resolved. How will Claire's tenuous peace be affected by the discovery of what transpired between them in Los Angeles? In upcoming episodes, each thread is set to clash, making it harder to distinguish between ambition, love, and loyalty. It's the quintessential YNR tale, emotional, erratic, and completely captivating. Section 9. Heritage and Rejuvenation. The Young and the Restless is facing the age-old soap opera problem of striking a balance between nostalgia and innovation as it enters its 5th decade. While newcomers like Sienna Bacall and Holden Novak provide new life to the series, characters like Jill Abbott exemplify its legacy. That balance, that the past is not obliterated but rather changes, is aptly encapsulated in this episode. The echoes of history are all around for devoted fans. Claire's echoes of Nikki Newman's tenacity, Kyle's mirror of Jack's romantic recklessness, and Jill's echoes of Catherine Chancellor's tough love. However, there is also hope for the future. Hope that the next generation of entangled souls in Genoa City will finally learn from their forebears' follies. Section X. Final thoughts. The silence before the explosion. Nothing is completely resolved by the end of the episode, and that's just the idea. Kyle's aircraft has taken off for Los Angeles. Jill's choice about Billy is still torn between relief and grief. Additionally, Sienna Bacall polishes a glass at a dimly lit Hollywood bar, while her eyes sparkle with secrets that might destroy half of Genoa City. This type of storytelling, which combines slow-burning tension with informal chat, is what makes The Young and the Restless so brilliant. Every sigh from Jill, every word exchanged between Sienna and Holden, and every obstinate decision made by Kyle are all components of a larger emotional storm that is set to blow. This is YNR's magic. Despite the passing of decades, it continues to be a vibrant examination of human desire, including the yearning for acceptance, love, and forgiveness. These needs collide in Tuesday's episode, promising heartache, atonement, and the kind of drama that only Genoa City can provide. Because every line crossed on The Young and the Restless is a step closer to the truth. Every decision is a ticking time bomb, and every premiere is fate.